For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Camping and Leisure with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you a review on sort of a brand new product for Vango in our Airbeam collection. So this here is the Vango Illusion TC 800XL. Bit of a mouthful, but I'll explain it all now. So the Illusion obviously is in terms of the style, so they did an Illusion in polyester. This is Illusion in polycotton or technical cotton, hence the TC. 800XL, it's 8 berth, but it's also like an XL model, so it's a bit bigger than you would normally get for a normal 8 berth. So it's more sort of carries over in many ways to the Vango Rhapsody of 2016. So 2017, they've tweaked it a bit and they made some quite staggering improvements in my opinion. So what they kind of have done is a carbon copy of their best-selling tent, which is the Vango Illusion, but made it in a polycotton version. The joys of polycotton is that it's breathable, so it reacts with the temperature. So main thing on a hot day, what happens is the weave actually opens up and expands, allows air to pass through it, making it a lot cooler on the inside. And on the flip side of that, what happens as well is the fact that when it's cooler, the weave tightens and keeps the warmth inside. There's obviously loads of plus points to polycotton as well. For me, it is the better fabric you can buy, mainly because of durability. It will probably last about maybe 2 to 3 times longer than a polyester tent. As well, it's a lot quieter in the wind. You haven't got a synthetic flapping. It's literally beautiful cotton canvas kind of style that we're used to with like Cabanon and Trigano and Raclay and all the classics really. So for me, it's the ideal material. One thing to bear in mind as well is they've actually made a few tweaks to the 2017 season. So they've introduced an extra window panel on the roof, so you've got it just there. That really helps to make it light and bright on the inside. Admittedly, with this sort of darker nutmeg colour, it's brilliant because it makes it feel dark in the evenings, certainly early in the mornings, but this extra panel really does make a difference in comparison, say, like last year's Rhapsody. You still get tons of features involved in the actual tent as well, so things like you've got Vango's line lock system, which is an easy way to adjust the guy rope systems as well, and it uses Vango's air speed valve, so each beam is done individually. So the whole thing I've done on my own in about 14 minutes, which, you know, for something this size and polycotton is incredible, to be fair. Yeah, again, the joys of it as well is the fact that if you're going away for a weekend, or you could take something this big, or even a week, last thing you'll do after a 3-hour drive down to sort of Cornwall or the Lake District is to spend an extra hour putting a tent up, especially you've got kids running around going mental. So check out our pitching video on this particular model, and it shows you how quick and simple it is to put up. One thing to mention as well, like I said, I never tweaked, they've actually introduced a full length zip for any addition. So last year with the Rhapsody, you had a zip starting from about top, just over to the other side of the top now. The new 2017 zip on pretty much all the models now starts all the way down the bottom, goes up, across and down the other side. Purpose being it's a more thorough way of attaching it on. It feels actually more like part of the tent rather than an addition. So it's, as I said, having it down there saves you having to peg it and a bit more secure in terms of wind as well. So that's a really nice improvement. There are obviously optional extras you can look at adding onto this, like a sun canopy, as well as footprints, carpets you can add on the inside of things, but I'll go into that a bit more detail when we go inside in just a moment. Another thing to make a note as well, in comparison to the Rhapsody of last year, is there's now a lovely little side canopy on there, so you can use this door if it's raining without having the water sort of coming down and dripping down on the inside. So you've got one sort of aluminium pole, very quick and simple, and like I said, in terms of strength as well, aluminium is nice and strong. What they've actually done is also increase the ventilation panels as well, so you've got nice ventilation over here to give you a good circulation of air to sort of help combat condensation. And they've actually brought out a brand new pump for all 2017 models. So this is still a dual action hand pump, but the best part about it is actually taller, so you're not straining your back so much. So really where your starting point's around about sort of knees, and then up to about hip height. So yet again, like I said, dual action hand pump makes it a bit easier, and actually the resistance is less as well with this new pump. And you've got the little display gauge and what PSI you're currently pumping up to. But like I said, a really strong model from the outside, beautiful colours, and looks really nice, and it's very easy to get it looking really crisp. You've got storm sort of webbing straps on the front and back to get a tension in the roof as well, and also with the guy ropes on the side, you've got tons of stability. But we'll talk a bit more about certainly the features on the inside of it as we go in. So now we're inside the tent, the first thing you can get a bit more of a better feel for is the layout. So you've got obviously a nice big open canopy area. a living area and a sleeping area just behind. Now the canopy area is obviously nice and wide and it's a good sort of depth to it as well. So you've got tons of room to put sort of cookers, units and that sort of thing as well. What you may have seen from the outside is actually it's got a door as well actually built onto it. So you can have it completely open and roll that all the way back, or have it sealed up. Actually it's a halfway point as well. So you can sort of just roll it back to a certain point and use it more like a conventional door. Lovely height throughout the whole of the tent. So me being 6'2", 6'3", standing in the middle, no problem at all. And even in the corners, actually, to be fair, it's pretty well done, to be fair. I can stand up, no issue. One thing to bear in mind is actually the pitch of this is different in comparison to the Rhapsody of last year. So the Rhapsody was quite low in the corners. They've actually changed that, and like I said, it does make it feel a bit more roomier and airy inside. One thing you've got as well that's quite nice in this particular tent is the Illusion has the ability of having privacy in the awning area. So you've got zip-up curtains, so you can have it completely enclosed and no one can see in what's going on. Throughout the tent, you've got beautiful PVC windows. So not only have you got the conventional PVC window here, but you've got almost like it's one in the roof as well. That actually helps with like the slightly darker colour of the material. It makes it feel a lot brighter and airy in here. So on a sort of cloudy, overcast day, it still feels fairly fresh and you can have no problem sort of seeing in here. The window system all works down the bottom here. So you've got a little panel where it just rolls into, and then you've got zips either side. So you can sort of bring it up. You can do sort of the one window separately, so you can still have sort of privacy against people walking by, but still allow light to come in. Alternatively, ready for sort of first thing in the morning, zip them all up, and get it nice dark inside, so you hopefully won't wake up at crack of dawn in the morning. So that's a really nice sort of thing. Like I said, because it zips either side, you can actually choose to have it sort of halfway and put it as you please. And then you've got like I said, a little retainer pocket down the bottom with a toggle just to keep it all in check. Moving on to sort of the living area, so you've got this sort of dividing door between the canopy area and the living area. This actually can be completely zipped back and opened up. So the joys of it, again, it means you can have it as one big, nice open area. So what if I can do that now is a zipper running along the top, and then another one along the bottom as well. So in this actually part, you've got a PVC window with a curtain as well. So if you wanted to have this open up, you can all more than happily do so. So now I've done that, you can see the actual inner bedroom tent that's in place. So this is a 6-berth, sort of 8-berth tent. So you've got 6 along the back, 2-berth inner bedroom in here, which you can pretty much put up and put down at your own disposal. Personally, I find because it takes up about a quarter of the living area, during the daytime, I would actually take that down and take it out and use the internal space. Principle being really is, it's okay to put up in the evening, pop a couple of kids in there, let them sleep, and then obviously you've got more space at the back for yourselves. But really, it's taking up a quarter of the living area, and as soon as you take that down, with the door open, it opens this tent up really nicely. And you can see, in fairness, how much space you have got inside of here. So it's a bit of a beautiful tent, to be fair. One thing to mention, you've got Vango's super-sized beams, so it's 20% bigger than a normal standard inflatable tent, just to give you a bit more rigidity against the wind. And certainly with the polycotton material, it tends naturally to be a little bit heavier than your polyester. So that's just really to help and give extra support to that as well. Between the sort of the awning area and sort of the main living area, you've got a flat door as well, which is quite nice. It means you're not tripping up in and out. And certainly if you've got kids or say something with like wheelchairs, that's a really nice feature to me. It's really beneficial. From the outside, you can probably see we've got, like I said, ventilation panel along the bottom, so pretty much beneath all of the windows, there is a circulation vent just to, like I said, help combat condensation. Those vents have been made 50% bigger for this 2017 season, and the same for the ventilation point just above the bedroom area as well. So they've really thought about how to make sort of try and kill condensation. Really, it's going to happen in a tent, and certainly with polycotton, it's going to happen even less as well. You've got introduction of an extra side door now. So the Rhapsody only had one side door and one front door. So now you've got one either side. The joy of this means obviously if the wind changes direction, you can obviously change that over, and so you're not having a gale blown in. Both of them actually have mesh as well, so you get good circulation of air if you wanted to, without having sort of bugs and the critters coming in. That's one thing the front door actually doesn't have. So just bear that in mind as well. On obviously one from the outside, you could see there is a rain-safe canopy door on that side, so you can enter and exit, like I said, on the outside through here without having to worry about the rain coming and pooling in. Yet again, on a sort of rainy day, you can leave this sort of mesh door in, have the circulation, sort of a hot summer's day, say in France, and not have to worry about if it suddenly chucks it down and rain, it's all going to come flying in. Sleeping area at the back, apart from your 2-berth bedroom there, you've got 6 people on the back. Now this is basically split up into a 2, 2 and then a 2. This sort of 2 bedrooms either side here has a zip divider to make it one big 4-berth bedroom. This is completely separate, so just bear that in mind. So really I can stand up in the bedrooms, no problem at all, so getting changed in the mornings, not an issue. Like I said, zip that back, have that as one big 4, so you sort of mum and dad can be in there, have a nice 4-berth to the 2 of them, put a kid or 2 on there, kid and 2 in there, it just keeps you all have your separate areas, so in theory, hopefully you get a good night's sleep. One thing to bear in mind as well is the amount of level of detail Vango go to with small little extras you can't necessarily twig on first looks. So things like storage pockets are a great thing from my opinion. Adds extra areas of storage, and the joys of it yet again is you can quite happily put keys, books, that sort of thing, just declutter the area in here, and you've got numerous 1, 2, 3, 4 lots of storage pockets, so it's pretty much endless in that sense. So really helps declutter. And the same, you've got storage pockets actually inside the bedroom, so down the bottom here you could put torches or something like that, so if you wake up in the sort of bane of midnight and find out you need to go to the loo, you can just reach around, find the pocket, grab your torch, go out, and you're good to go really. So that's a really nice sort of small level of detail there, adds a lot. This helmet again hides the whole toggle points, makes it look a lot neater, and look, it actually comes onto the new sort of sky rail system that Vango put in their tents. So for 2017 they've introduced something called sky rail, so it's a beading that actually is stitched onto the base sleeve of the beam here, so it means you can actually put a hanging point wherever you want to. So you've got these small little sky rail clips, which is that sort of thing there, little Velcro parts, and all you can do is then just slide it on where you need to. Get the right side, be all right. There you go. Slide it on and you sort of have a hanging point there, hanging lantern alternatively you've got there, but you'll get sort of 10 of these little clips, and they'll actually clamp on as well to put hanging points where you want. So really just makes your tent bespoke and personal to yourself, which for me I think is a really great option extra. I'm certainly going down the lines, I'm sure Vango will introduce more and more accessories to use this sky rail system. So in theory you could probably have put 2 points there, hang a lantern across and have almost like a blood flighting in. One other thing as well I do like is the extra things like the storage pockets, which you've got on there, but you've also got cable entry points as well. So cable entry points allow you to put mobile mains electric into any point you want to. So you've got one sort of each side, so one just the bottom of that beam there, another one behind that beam there, and then one at the front. So if you, doesn't matter which side you turn up to or which way you put it, your pitch is on left, right, centered or back, you've got some way of getting it in and not having to sort of trail a big sort of almost ring with a cable around the outside of the tent. One thing I think that for me that really speaks out is certainly if you're looking going to Europe or even sort of a warm day in the UK, you would notice a massive temperature change in this tent in comparison to a polyester, mainly because, like I said, it breathes on the tent. So for me, if you go into France or continental Europe where it's quite hot, you have to have a polycotton tent. That's where this Illusion really is sort of in a world of its own there, in terms of the features you've got, the space you've got. Comes in a nice roller bag as well, which is sort of new for the 2017 season. But really impressive, and like I said, we were sold out of the Rhapsody probably end of May for the 2016 season. So the improvements and the very small increase in price makes this very good value. And certainly with the extra add-ons, wind doors, canopies, I think this is going to be an incredible seller for the 2017 season. It's one we're going to have up on our indoor display room. So if you come to us at Attwoolls, you can more than happily see this in the flesh and feel the beautiful quality it is and get a better feel for it. One thing I will say is, even with these videos are very helpful, I'm sure, to customers, there's nothing beats going inside of it and planning things right. Yeah, I can put a chair, tables there, that sort of thing as well. I think that for me, you get a bit more of an idea. But we're more happy to come see us. We can talk about this, and like I said, if need be, check out that pitching video on how quick and easy it is to put this tent up. But in essence, that's pretty much everything from here at Attwoolls. Like I said, any questions or queries on this product, comment below, obviously, or Facebook us or email us. Any way you need to get in contact, we're here for your disposal. So that is the very much improved Vango Illusion TC 800 XL.